Be like a hammer, not a feather, not a whisper, not a flicker in the wind. Be solid, purpose-built, made to strike, and made to endure. A hammer isn't elegant. It doesn't glide or float. It hits, it breaks, and it builds. The world will put walls in front of you, doubt in your ears, and fear in your chest. But what will you do? Break through every obstacle like a hammer. Because a hammer doesn't stop when the nail resists. It strikes again and again. That's how you build. That's how you break through. Not with luck or chance, but with force, repetition, and unshakable focus. If you want to win, rise, or grow, you must hit the same spot again and again until the wall breaks, until the fear cracks, until the resistance gives up because you didn't. Let's talk about struggle, the grind, the wait, the days when nothing seems to work, when you're swinging and nothing breaks, when you're pushing, but the wall still stands tall. You start to wonder, am I doing it wrong? Should I quit? Is it even worth it? But you forget, a hammer doesn't question its purpose. It doesn't wonder if the nail is too tough. It just keeps hitting. And so should you. You keep showing up. You keep striking. Even if nobody's watching, even when your hands are tired, even when the world laughs. Because that's what winners do. That's what leaders do. That's what legends do. They swing, not once, but until the job is done. There's a man in Detroit who wakes up every day at 4:30 a.m. He lays bricks. Winter, summer, doesn't matter. His hands are rough, his back is sore, but his kids eat, his wife smiles, and his legacy grows. He doesn't complain. He doesn't beg. He swings his hammer. Every damn day. No spotlight. No applause. Just purpose. You call that average? I call that extraordinary. So what's your wall? Is it debt? Doubt? Disappointment? The past? The pain? You already know what to do. Pick up your hammer. Swing. Swing again. And again, until the obstacle learns that you're not backing down. I am not soft. I am not scared. I am not giving up. I am the hammer. I am the strike. I am the pressure that breaks the wall. I will rise. I will build. I will break through. Because I was not made to bend. I was made to break. Break fear. Break limits. Break through. Let's talk about discipline. The hammer doesn't swing on emotion. It doesn't ask how it feels. It acts. It shows up. Every single day. Discipline is not loud, not pretty, but it's unstoppable. What separates dreamers from doers isn't motivation or luck. It's relentless repetition. The hammer doesn't need motivation to hit. It just hits. You want to become something? Stop waiting to feel like it. Start swinging. Wake up early, swing. Hit the gym, swing. Study when others sleep, swing. Work when no one believes, swing. And when boredom creeps in, you swing harder, because average people stop when it gets boring. But the hammer doesn't care about boredom. It cares only about the breakthrough. Ever seen a blacksmith? Sparks fly, metal glows, and he hits the same spot, not emotionally, but with rhythm, control, and purpose. Each strike shapes, clarifies, and builds something unbreakable. That's discipline. That's you. I don't stop at enough. I go until it's done, until it's mine. I don't wait for stars to align. I swing until the sky moves. Because I'm not here to be gentle. I'm here to win, to break limits, to become the weapon the world didn't see coming. I am the hammer. Repetition isn't weakness. It's how the hammer becomes legend. Not one perfect swing, but 10,000 imperfect ones. 10,000 tries. 10,000 bruises. 10,000 moments where you whisper, I'll swing again. And that's where the difference lies. Most people swing once, maybe twice, then stop. But you swing until the wall falls. Not because you're lucky or chosen, but because you earned it. One rep, one lonely day, one painful night at a time. Picture this, 2 a.m., everyone asleep, but you're up, studying, training, building. No applause, no spotlight, just you and your hammer. And one day, they'll ask how you did it. And you'll smile, because they didn't see the hours, the sweat, the silence, but you did. You lived it. Pain is part of the swing. Ask anyone who's ever built anything real. The hammer doesn't just strike, it absorbs shock. So will you. Life will hit back. Chase your dream. Expect pain. Break the cycle. Expect pain. Rise higher than anyone in your family ever has. Pain will greet you at the door. But that's how you know you're swinging in the right direction. Take Sylvester Stallone. Nothing. No father. No money. Just a dream and a hammer. Mocked. Rejected. Broke. Sleeping in bus stations. He even sold his dog. But he believed. He kept swinging. And you know the rest. He didn't just break through. He broke records. So what are you waiting for? Permission? Approval? Support? You won't get it. All you need is your swing and your reason why. What's your why? Your mother? Your kids? That voice in your head that won't stop? Name it. Because that reason will carry you when your arms can't, when your heart breaks, when everyone leaves. Your why becomes the grip that keeps the hammer in your hand. I swing for those who believe in me. I swing for those who doubted me. I swing for the kid I used to be and the warrior I'm becoming. I swing for something greater than pain. I swing because I refuse to die with regret. I swing because I was born to build something that lasts. Even if no one sees. Even if no one claps. Even if the world screams stop, I'll swing anyway. Because a hammer doesn't ask for applause. It asks for impact. You've seen it, a distracted mind, jumping from one thing to another, trying everything and mastering nothing. But the hammer doesn't scatter. It doesn't wander. It hits one point with everything it's got. Not 5 points. Not 10 directions. Just one target. Because power is created through focus. 1,000 weak swings mean nothing, but one focused strike can change everything. You want a breakthrough? Focus. Turn off the noise. Turn down the doubts. Forget the trends and silence the crowd. The hammer doesn't care what anyone else is doing. It just keeps hitting. Your dream is the nail. Your focus is the force. Your life is the swing. Make it count. Every second, your focus is under attack. Scroll, swipe, click, repeat. The world craves your attention, and if it gets it, you lose your power. Because you can't swing while distracted. You can't build with your mind somewhere else. You must choose. Be entertained or be legendary, because both don't live in the same room. The wind is scattered. It dances, flows, swirls, but it builds nothing. The hammer? It's still, direct, intentional. That's how breakthroughs are made. By steady hands, focused eyes, and a heart that refuses to drift. You are not the wind. You are the hammer. I focus on what matters. I don't chase noise. I don't fear silence. I don't compare my swing to theirs. I aim. I lock in. I strike. And I don't stop until it breaks. Let's talk about faith, not religion, but faith in yourself, in the process, in the swing. Because sometimes you hit the wall 100 times and nothing moves. You feel stuck. You feel small. You feel like giving up. But hear me now, the wall will break. The results will come, but only if you stay long enough to see it happen. Don't quit before the miracle. Don't stop before the breakthrough. Imagine if the hammer gave up one swing before the wall cracked. That's how most people live, stopping one effort too soon, one strike away from glory. But not you. You believe. There's a tale of a man in a mine, digging for diamonds. He gave everything. Time, money, hope. And after years, he gave up. Sold the land. Walked away. The next man dug just 3 more feet and found diamonds. The wall was thin, but the first man never knew because he stopped too soon. Faith is striking even when the wall looks solid. Faith is trusting even when you can't see progress. The cracks are forming. The resistance is weakening, but only if you keep swinging. Most people believe only when they see results. But the hammer believes before the break. That's real faith. That's what makes champions. I believe in the swing, in the work, in the invisible cracks forming behind the wall. Even if no one claps, even if no one believes, I keep swinging. Because I know what's behind the wall, my freedom, my greatness, my future. And I won't stop until I get there. Nobody talks about this part, the silence, the isolation, the days when it's just you and your hammer. No crowd, no cheers, just sweat and swing. Because greatness is built in the quiet. When you rise before the sun, when you grind in the dark, when you walk alone with nothing but belief, that's when the wall begins to crack. Most won't understand your path. They'll laugh, they'll doubt, they'll walk away. Let them. The hammer doesn't swing for attention, it swings for impact. Let your work speak. Let your silence echo. Let your results roar. There was a girl, abandoned, mocked, told she'd never make it. Rejected 5 times from college. Told she wasn't smart enough. But she kept studying, kept applying, kept swinging. Eventually, she got in, graduated top of her class, built a business, became a millionaire. Nobody saw the early mornings, the tears, the breakdowns. They only saw the breakthrough. But she didn't do it for them. She did it for the little girl inside who needed to know she was strong enough to break through. They don't have to believe in you. It's not their wall, not their future, not their swing. Let them laugh. Let them leave. Let them doubt. You swing anyway. I don't need permission. I don't need applause. I don't need a crowd. I only need one thing. The courage to swing when it's quiet. Because I'm not here to impress. I'm here to break through. Even when I'm alone, especially when I'm alone, I keep going. Let's talk about the battlefield that matters most, your mind. That voice, it'll whisper, you can't, you're not enough, give up. But you already know what to do. You swing. You drown that voice with action. Because the mind is like metal. It can be shaped, forged, disciplined, but only through repetition, only through resistance. Just as the hammer bends steel, you must bend your thoughts. You can't afford to be your own enemy. You can't afford to hesitate every time life gets hard. You can't afford to think weak and act strong. Every thought is a strike. Every decision is a swing. Every time you say yes to discipline, you hammer your mind into something stronger. That's how warriors are made. Not through easy days, but by winning the mental war. I am not my fear. I am not my past. I am not my doubt. I am the builder of my mind, the shaper of my fate, the hammer in my own hands. I strike weakness with purpose. I hit doubt with discipline. I swing at fear with fire. And every day, I grow stronger. The world cannot break me, because I've already broken through myself. You've been swinging. You've been hurting. You've stayed focused. You've walked alone. And now, you're getting close. The cracks are forming. The pressure is rising. The wall is trembling. But this is where most people let up. They ease off. They relax, not realizing that the final swing is always the hardest, because it's the one that breaks everything. You can feel it, can't you? You're closer than you've ever been. One more rep, one more day, one more try, and the breakthrough will come. But you have to stay in the fire. You have to stay until. Burn the backup plan. Forget the escape route. You don't need a way out. You need a way forward. That wall was built to stop average people. But not you. You are the exception. You are the one who kept going. You are the one who finishes. I don't retreat. I don't stall. I don't shrink. I rise. I strike. I finish. The wall will break. The fear will break. The limits will break. Because I keep swinging. Because I never stop. Because I was built for this. I was born with pressure in my blood, heat in my spirit, and iron in my hands. I don't break down. I break through. Let's talk about legacy. When you're gone, what will they say? Will they say you complained? Or will they say you conquered? Will they say you quit? Or that you crushed everything in your path? Because the hammer leaves marks. On stone, on steel, on lives. And so should you. Every single day, you are leaving an impression with your choices, with your discipline, with your grind. The question is, what are you building? A life that fades, or a legacy that echoes? A name they forget, or a story they pass down? Imagine an old man, his hands rough, calloused, scarred. But when he opens his photo album, he sees a family built on his grit, a home built with his sweat, a name built with honor. That's what this is all for. Not the claps, not the fame, but the legacy. You don't just swing for today, you swing for the future. I build what lasts. I swing for the ones who come after me. I strike with purpose. I leave marks that matter. I am not here to be popular. I am here to be permanent. Every strike writes my story, and I write it bold. It's not one swing that changes your life. It's 1,000, 1,000,000, done relentlessly. Not when it's easy, not when it's fun, but when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one's looking. That's when pressure becomes power. The hammer doesn't hit once a week. It hits daily, routinely, religiously, because greatness isn't born in the grand gesture. It's born in the grind, the unseen, the unnoticed, the uncelebrated. That's where you win. Imagine building a mountain, one handful of dirt at a time. It seems pointless at first, but one day, it's no longer just dirt, it's a monument. That's your life. Every habit, every rep, every swing, you're building your monument. You can't hit once and expect greatness. You can't try for a week and expect mastery. You can't push for a month and expect transformation. You have to stay with it. Become addicted to consistency. The goal? Outlast everyone who thought you couldn't. Be the last one swinging and the first one standing. I show up. I swing daily. I don't make excuses. I make progress. Even when I don't feel like it, I swing. Even when it doesn't look like it's working, I swing. Even when it hurts, I swing. Because I know every swing counts. Every drop of sweat matters. Every action stacks. And soon, the wall will fall. It has no choice. Because I'm not leaving until it does. This isn't just about effort. It's about identity. The hammer doesn't wonder if it's a hammer, it knows. It doesn't ask for permission, it just fulfills its purpose. You have to become what you want, not just act like it, be it. Want to be strong? Think strong. Train strong. Speak strong. Want to be disciplined? Claim it. Live it. Own it. No more pretending. No more part-time effort. You are the hammer. Own it. Stop saying you're trying. Start saying you're doing. Stop saying someday. Start saying now. Stop saying I hope. Start saying I will. Because power begins when you change your language, when your words and your actions match, when your identity aligns with your mission. That's when you become unbreakable. I don't ask for strength. I am strength. I don't wish for courage. I am courage. I don't hope to be consistent. I live consistent. This is not an act. This is who I am. I am the pressure. I am the strike. I am the storm that breaks through. And I'll never forget it. Everyone wants the success, the recognition, the results. But no one wants the price, the sacrifice, the discomfort, the endless hours with no reward. But that's the cost. That's the toll. That's what it takes. If you're not willing to pay, don't expect to receive. The hammer doesn't complain about the pain, it just does the job. Every hit leaves a dent, on the wall and on the one swinging it. But that's the deal. You get bruises, or you stay broken. There was a high school wrestler, skinny, underdog, bullied, but he made a decision to outwork every single person, to train harder, to suffer more, to swing with more intensity than anyone else. And years later, he became an Olympian, not because he was the most talented, but because he paid the price. With pain, with discipline, with obsession. So what are you willing to pay? Sleep? Comfort? Laziness? Excuses? Because one of them has to go. You can't keep your limitations and reach your potential. You must choose comfort or greatness, average or legendary, soft hands or calloused power. Your dream has a price tag, and the hammer doesn't pay with words, it pays with effort. I don't run from the cost. I embrace it. I don't wish for ease. I demand strength. Every rep is a down payment. Every swing, an investment. Every sacrifice, a receipt for success. I pay in full, with my sweat, with my time, with my fight. Because I know what I'm building is worth it. Let's talk about what really matters, impact. What are you doing with your swing? What are you building with your effort? Because this isn't just about you. The hammer builds houses, hospitals, bridges. It creates safety, shelter, legacy. So does your life. You're not just grinding for yourself, you're paving a way. For your family, for your future, for the people watching you silently, hoping you don't quit. They may never say it, but they're watching. You may be their blueprint, their silent permission to believe again. She worked 3 jobs, studied at night, raised 2 kids. Everyone said she'd burn out, but she didn't. She showed up every single day. She didn't scream. She didn't whine. She just swung. And years later, her kids stood on the stage, graduated, strong, fearless, because of her. She was the hammer, and her impact built generations. So don't think this is just about you. Your swing can build someone else's courage. Your fight can ignite someone else's fire. So fight hard, swing loud, build big, leave behind something that echoes. I am not just grinding. I am creating. I am not just surviving. I am leading. I am not just swinging. I am building something greater than myself. My life is a tool. My struggle is a seed. And my impact is forever. You've swung. You've bled. You've sacrificed. And now you can hear it. That faint crack, that subtle shift in the resistance, that moment right before the breakthrough. This is the point where many give in. Right before the reward. Right before everything changes. But not you. You are not most people. You were built for the final swing, the last mile, the last round, the last hour. It's always the hardest because it matters the most. The wall screams loudest right before it crumbles, but you stay steady. You stay focused. You keep your hands tight on the hammer, and you swing. Imagine the wall. At first, no mark. Then a small chip. Then a line. Then a fracture. And suddenly, boom, the wall collapses all at once. But only because you never stopped swinging. Every hit counted. Even the ones you thought were wasted. Every failure, every setback, every tear, none of it was in vain. It built your moment. Now is not the time to retreat. Now is not the time to slow down. Now is the time to double down. This is your breaking point. Not where you break, but where you break through. You're on the edge of everything you've been working for. So grip tighter, breathe deeper, and swing with fire. This is it. This is my time. This is my crack in the wall. I've earned this. I've bled for this. I've sacrificed for this. I don't stop here. I don't slow down. I finish what I started. I break through. Even if my hands shake, I swing. Even if my legs fail, I swing. Even if the world says it's over, I swing again. Because this is the swing that changes everything. You've swung. You've bled. You've sacrificed. And now you can hear it. That faint crack. That shift in the resistance. That moment right before the breakthrough. This is where many give in. Right before the reward. Right before everything changes. But not you. You are not most people. You were built for the final swing, the last mile, the last round, the last hour. It's always the hardest because it matters most. The wall gets loud right before it crumbles. But you stay steady. You stay focused. You keep your hands tight on the hammer, and you swing. Imagine the wall. At first, no mark. Then a small chip. Then a line. Then a fracture. And suddenly, boom, the wall collapses. All at once. But only because you never stopped swinging. Every hit counted. Even the ones you thought were wasted. Every failure. Every setback. Every tear. None of it was in vain. It built your moment. Now is not the time to retreat. Now is not the time to slow down. Now is the time to double down. This is your breaking point. Not where you break, but where you break through. You're on the edge of everything you've been working for. So grip tighter, breathe deeper, and swing with fire. This is it. This is my time. This is my crack in the wall. I've earned this. I've bled for this. I've sacrificed for this. I don't stop here. I don't slow down. I finish what I started. I break through. Even if my hands shake, I swing. Even if my legs fail, I swing. Even if the world says it's over, I swing again. Because this is the swing that changes everything. Now you hear the silence after the fall. The dust settling. The wall in pieces. You did it. Not because you were the strongest, but because you were the most relentless. You kept showing up. You kept believing. You kept swinging. And the wall, it didn't stand a chance. This is what victory feels like. Not loud. Not always celebrated. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just peace. Sometimes it's just you, standing tall, surrounded by rubble. And that's enough, because you know what it took. But here's the truth. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. You broke through one wall, but there are more. Higher, tougher, heavier. And now, you know how to beat them. With effort, with focus, with fire, with heart, with your hammer. I celebrate, but I don't settle. I breathe, but I don't stop. Because I am not done. I am not satisfied. This was one victory, but my destiny holds many. I am built for more, and I will rise again, swing again, break through again. You hammer because that's what you were built to do. A blade gets dull. A glass can shatter. But a hammer stays true. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to be flashy. You need to be effective. And that comes from one thing: your will to keep striking. No matter how long it takes. No matter how deep the cracks. You keep hitting. You keep building. You keep becoming. Discipline is the rhythm of the hammer. Not wild or reckless, but precise, deliberate, and focused. Every swing is calculated. Every move intentional. Each day becomes another blow against mediocrity. Discipline means doing what you said you'd do, even after the mood has faded. It's not just about beginning, but about finishing. It's about showing up when it's hard, staying when it's quiet, and finishing when no one is watching. That's the hammer life. When others rest, you swing. When they doubt, you strike. When they give in, you hold fast. You're not chasing fleeting motivation. You're forging unshakable discipline. Motivation might get you started, but only discipline will get you through. The hammer doesn't wait to feel ready. It strikes. And you are no different. Discipline is your decision to keep swinging even when your arms are tired, when your mind screams to quit, when the wall hasn't cracked yet. You swing anyway. Because discipline isn't punishment, it's power. It's mastery over emotion, control over chaos. It's your inner hammer, trained, honed, and unleashed. The road to your dream is long and, at times, lonely. But with discipline, every day becomes a brick laid down. Every swing another mark of progress, another inch forward, another crack in the wall. You don't rush the process. You keep going. Because you know, a hammer never apologizes for its patience. It just keeps breaking through. So today, don't wait. Don't ask, don't doubt, swing. Train your discipline like steel, like fire, like war. Make it your identity. Because those who rise are not the loudest, but the most consistent. Not the strongest, but the most relentless. Not the most talented, but the most disciplined. You can have excuses or you can have power, but not both. You can be soft or you can be a hammer. And you've already chosen. That's why you're here. That's why you're still listening. You are a hammer, born to strike, built to last, forged for battle. You don't ask if it's possible. You make it possible. You don't wait for the path. You build it. You don't run from resistance. You crush it. So don't flinch. Don't shrink. Don't wait. Swing. Every swing has a cost. Every early morning, every lonely night, every drop of sweat, it all adds up. People will see your success, but they won't see your sacrifice. They won't understand the price you paid in silence. The burn in your lungs, the tremble in your hands, the nights you cried in secret. But you will, and you'll carry those scars like armor. Because greatness never goes on sale. It demands full price, upfront, and daily. There are no shortcuts, no discounts. You either pay the price or stay behind. And with every swing of the hammer, you are paying in full, not with money, but with focus, sacrifice, and your life's energy. They'll call you obsessed, good. They'll say you've changed, you should. They'll tell you it's too much. It's not. Because average people can't understand the fire that drives you. They've never stood where you stand. One swing away from breakthrough, one moment from becoming something unstoppable. You've burned the bridges behind you. There is no plan B, no escape, only forward, only through, only the hammer in your hand and the war in your soul. Let's be real, your biggest battle isn't out there. It's not your circumstances, not your enemies, not the haters. It's you, the voice in your head that whispers, you're not enough. You're too tired. This isn't working. Give up. But let me remind you, that voice is a liar. It's scared of your potential, scared of your power. It knows that if you keep swinging, keep showing up, keep pushing, you'll become unstoppable. So every day, you wake up and go to war with that voice. And you remind it who you are. You are not your fear. You are not your doubt. You are not your past. You are the hammer. You are the warrior. You are the one who keeps showing up when everyone else fades. You were built for this. You were born for this. And now, you're becoming this. You've been swinging that hammer for days, weeks, months, maybe even years, and nothing. No cracks. No signs. Just resistance. But what you didn't realize is that every swing was doing something. You were getting stronger, sharper, tougher, more focused. And deep inside that wall, just out of sight, things were shifting. Because real change doesn't show up in noise, it builds in silence. Then suddenly, crack. Just one swing, the same as every other, and the whole wall starts to break. People call it an overnight success, but you know better. That crack wasn't luck. That wasn't chance. That was earned. It was the 1,000 invisible swings before it, the lonely days, the failed attempts, the moments you almost quit but didn't. Now you've tasted it. Not just success, but power. Your own. You realize it was never the wall that held you back. It was the belief that it couldn't break. But now, you understand there is no wall you can't break. Because you're not just the person holding the hammer. You are the hammer. You are the force, the discipline, the consistency, the belief that refused to die. Now, they see the results, the transformation, and they'll ask, how did you do it? And you'll smile, because they'll never understand the swings it took. Now it's your turn to lead, to be the reason someone else doesn't quit, to show them that pain is temporary but persistence is forever. You carry the hammer now, but it's not just yours. It's a symbol of what's possible, of what's real, of what's inside all of us. And when the time comes, you'll pass that hammer to the next fighter, the next dreamer, the next soul standing on the edge of giving up. And you'll say, keep swinging.